What's up, guys? It is Matt Jackson and Clay Smith, and we're the Wash Bros. Thanks for tuning in on this really hot July day. This is going to be July 20th, and this is going to be episode 24. So it's super hot, kind of the lull of that summer slump that we're talking about, where if you guys are in similar boats as us, you're probably looking around seeing like, oh, where are all the leads? Where's all the work coming from? Again, like we were mentioning before, this is kind of what we call the summer slump when everybody is on vacation, everybody's got their house cleaned already, or they're saving up and waiting to go, waiting for their kids to go to school so they can buy all their school supplies and stuff like that. So I figure on this episode, we'll talk about what we do to prepare for the fall season. Like Clay mentions, we're always trying to prepare for that season going forward. Like if you're here trying to market for July and get work for next week, um, it's not going to be as effective as how you're positioning yourself for that fall season or that winter season. So, you want to kick this thing off, Clay?
Yeah, so great point. As I've always said, I see it in like every other episode. You got to be prepared for things like this. You got to, in July, for the July marketing, you want to have your July marketing done in February, March before the season kicks off or as the season's kicking off. You don't want to be, okay, sitting here in the slump saying, oh crap, I need to put more money here in Google. I need to put more money on the Facebook ads. I need to put more money on TV. I need to do whatever. Um, if you're panicking, that's probably a bad thing. You need to come up with a strong marketing strategy, come up with a budget, figure out where you want to put that budget and roll with it, stay consistent with it. And that's how you become successful in marketing. That's how you become successful with your brand. That's how you build value in your brand, is steadily investing into your business. Like we've said before with the summer slump, we were already prepared for this. We already knew it was coming. This is an every year thing. So if you're new, this is your first couple year or two, and you may have just went out on your own and started doing this full time. This is very normal. It's an every year trend. So and we have all the data to prove that. So once you start building your company, you have the right processes in place, you have the right software, the CRM. You can go back and look at prior years and say, okay, it's the same trend that it was the years prior. So very cool to be able to go back and see that. But now, as far as like Matt was saying with the marketing stuff, you want to make sure you're marketing for fall now. Always be preparing yourself for the success to close out the year because it's coming quick. It's going to get busy again pretty quick, just like spring came up, snuck up on us. It's going to get busy, and you got to make the most of it.
Exactly right. And you got to make the most of it because right after spring, after that fall season, which is like a mini spring, you're going to get into that winter. So in South Carolina, our winter can be pretty rough if you don't have money stored aside, if you're not prepared for those bills of December, January, and maybe even early February. You need to start saving and doing so now because like if you're running the business, you're used to cash flow, you're used to work coming in, you can kind of live month to month, week to week almost if you're just like new to this or hustling. But like Clay says too, this is when you start tucking money aside for the winter time. This is where you start planning. Not only are you investing in getting work for that fall and winter season or the fall season especially, but you're tucking away a little bit of money and you're saving up for when it slows down completely. And one of those things where this year has been a little bit of a tougher year, I think, overall for everybody, especially if you're heavy in residential. I've been able to pick up some commercial work, which has allowed us to be pretty flat year over year. But if I didn't have that commercial work, I'd been down. So I'm saying I think we're probably doing like almost 50,000 ish dollars in commercial work so far this year. Just so that's moving the needle. Like we definitely see a pretty substantial drop in just residential leads and residential work. So again, we're trying to prepare and plan in advance because, like you said, you never know what happened this past year. We had a hurricane hit us in the fall, and it really took a dent in the local market. So what we do now is getting ahead of any type of issues that we may face then. So if say the market shortens up and shifts a little bit, then we're going to be the go-to provider for pressure washing needs. If people are like, oh, I've seen C3 Wash Pros blowing it up all summer long, like I'm going to use them next. Then usually that's going to be that season in the fall where they get their house cleaned when it cools off a little bit, when they have their outdoor cookouts, when their kids are back in school, stuff like that. So, like, what are we doing now to prepare ourselves for that?
Yeah, not only that is, we're top competitors, I would say, in the market, in our market, online reputation, stuff like that. You want to make sure you're in the top. What are you doing to provide value? What are you doing to make sure if any kind of pressure washing is brought up that you're in that conversation. Like, what are you doing? Was, if so and so Freddie next door is talking to their neighbor and they say something about pressure washing, how are you already soaked in their head? You want to be in that conversation. Whenever pressure washing is brought up, you want to come to mind when that customer hears the word pressure washing. So, what are we doing to position ourselves? 2024, we entered Best Upstate. C3 Wash Pros, my company, won it. 2025, me and Matt went against each other. Matt beat me out of the Best Upstate 2025. So we are kind of those top competitors now, Best of Upstate. If you are wherever you are, you have those little competitions. It provides value. It's a free thing for your company. It provides value to your brand. It's just one of those things. They roll out the red carpet, take cool pictures, you get a cool plaque, and you can say, "Hey, I was voted best of upstate. Check us out."
100%. And you don't necessarily have to win it every single year. Clay had a good point there. You put it, you get the little badge, the banner, whatever the silliness is. You got the picture on, like Clay said, on the red carpet. You can run a Facebook ad behind that. You don't necessarily have to do that every single year to be credible. Once you hit that level, hey, look, we're the best in the upstate. I see people all the time running ads, best of the upstate 2023. We're here to serve you. It's like, hey, they've proved themselves in the market where they've been locally voted amongst essentially like the community. So they're like a community choice award. If say you're in sports, you win the Super Bowl one year. You're not just say, oh, if I don't win it every year, I can't talk about winning the Super Bowl that year. I mean, so little things like this, like Clay says, there's strategy behind it. I didn't even know what this thing was until I saw Clay got this last year. And then one of our local competitor buddies, he was posting about like voting to nominate himself. So again, like Clay says, don't think that, oh, these are things you just buy. This is free. I didn't spend any money out of pocket with this organization to get the thing. I pretty much bought tickets to the event. They technically haven't even charged me for the tickets yet. So, and then I just ran marketing and I had my email list. Like we always stress to you guys, utilize email list, get customer contact information. And I was just sending a link to my customer base and just say, hey, if you could give us a vote. And then we were able to secure it. So that way Clay and I both are essentially like nominated and won the best of the upstate. So that is huge for marketing. Throw that on your website, put that on your trucks. It's something that as professionals, nobody's better than anybody else per se, but it helps us as kind of building credibility if we're getting bid at against other competitors. So like Clay or I, if they're bidding us against other people and they don't have that, it could be a stepping stone to kind of add value in our company over somebody else. And
Well,
again,
yeah, it's like, yeah, like you're saying, most people do get three pressure washing quotes. So if we're in a big project and me and you are in with that, and then you got another guy or two other guys or whatever, and they see that me and you are voted best upstate, it's probably going to come down to me and you.
100%. Yeah. And don't view things through the eyes of like, oh man, that's like a popularity contest or you just paid money for that. You got to view things in the eyes of how a consumer would perceive you. If you're going out to, if you're looking for somebody to hire and they won a award for like best of the upstate, there's some form of credibility there because they had to qualify. And that's what a customer is going to see. So whether it's a small local reward, figure out how to get entered into these things just so you can get that brand credibility and build up, like essentially like build up your credibility in the local market because there's trust there and people buy from those they know, like, and trust. Anybody can say we're number one pressure washing company, but when you literally like Clay and I have, it's like we're nominated and we won the best of the upstate for pressure washing category. That's a little more truthful in the eyes of a consumer than just anybody who says we're number one.
Absolutely. Not only does it just show credibility and provide value, it helps with your SEO as well because when they post those links and it says best pressure washing company or power washing company, whatever, it's going to show the backlink with your company on it.
Exactly. And you're getting a high quality backlink from a local authority source, which is really big. You got to think outside the box. So when opportunities like this come up, don't just be, oh man, like I don't need to be that guy. I like you got to be your salesman and you got to be like the showman for your own business. We're not in this game just to pressure wash houses. We're in this game to keep our business alive and try to make it do as well as possible. And that's kind of a reframe I see a lot of these guys. They're like, yeah, humility is amazing, is great. But there's nothing humble and great about going out of business, especially if you're doing this for your family or if you're doing this to support people or just to support yourselves. Like you show up every single day, and if you're not allowing your company to be positioned correctly in the market and to win jobs and to and to be the biggest company you possibly can be that you want to be, you're doing yourself a disservice. So like I see this all the time on the groups now. It's a little slower. People start getting into the negativity trap. Somebody posts something online and they just talk for hours about nonsense about like, oh, what chemical should I use to pressure wash this blue house? You shouldn't be focused on that. And one of our like one of the pressure washing coaches, guru guys, David, he had a post too, similar logic to this. And this is the problem that anybody who's successful at running businesses, anybody who's more of a business minded person than a technician, is going to say people will essentially like ask how to remove a stain in concrete, and they put more attention into that than how to get more work and how to position themselves better in their market, how to get more jobs, how to overcome the difficulty that we're facing in the local market with how the economy is, how much competition there is. Like instead of getting stuck in all these kind of technical woes, figure out how to position your business, whether it be through awards like this, whether it be through forward thinking and saying, I'm slow in July. How can I make the most out of my fall season? I better start marketing now. Uh, Essentially, we dropped a lot of marketing videos that we took in June because we kind of planned for this. We know, hey, the spring will take care of itself. That's when you get your repeat business. That's when everybody's searching pressure washing near me. And you run some Facebook ads or Google ads and you're going to make 10 grand a month. What separates people who are the part-timers or the kind of side hustle guys are more of, it's like, how can you sustain this year round? And the whole premise in the Wash Bros and like our strategy is it's a grind, but like we break it down from the preseason spring to the spring to now we're kind of in that summer slump like we talked about. But the summer slump is the same as in December and January when we're preparing for that spring rush. So what we're doing now is preparing in this summer slump for that fall rush. And I shot a bunch of marketing stuff. We had some cool commercial projects. I got a lot of cool video footage of that, got it edited. We're running pretty substantial amount of money in ads. We're not expecting those ads to convert necessarily now, but we're planning on helping that really help us out, get a lot more business and grow the fall season. And that's how you got to think. Cause I see guys, they talk all the time about Facebook ads, and Facebook ads, like what Facebook ads are you running? I'm like, Facebook is going to be that awareness essentially. So you're creating like awareness of your business, and like what Clay says, you want to be top of mind when it's time for people to search for pressure washing. And we're running a lot of awareness campaigns for pressure washing right now because we're trying to position ourselves when everybody in the fall is going to seek out pressure washing services. They think about either Clay or they think about me.
Yeah, 100%. I've always been big on the brand awareness type stuff. And then the biggest thing when you're talking about the summer slump, you guys have to realize, like, when we say summer slump, we're still doing 30, 40, $50,000 a month, depending on the lead flow. And that's still huge months for you guys. So summer slump is, it's probably not a slump to you guys. It's obviously a slump to us because like June we did 60 grand, right? So but that lead flow, definitely, we can definitely feel the difference. We can definitely see that it's pumped the brakes a little bit. The market's kind of pumped its brakes. Like Matt said, everybody's getting ready back to school shopping, vacation. They may be spin out from vacation, spin out from whatever, because everybody has all their fun in the summer. They spend all their money in the summer, and it takes a little bit to recruit that. And then, like we've said, they're away, they're on vacation. They may not be around their house as much as they are in the spring. They haven't looked at their house, and then when things get back into the gist of things with the school and all that type of stuff, and they're outside and they see the kids playing when they get home from school, they're like, man, I need to get back on the pressure washing. So August is usually good. September is usually good. October is usually great. It's just making sure you set yourself up for success.
100%. And don't sweat the small stuff and don't have a short-term vision. In this type of business or in any type of business, you have to have a long-term vision. You break down the year. If you're feeling stressed out and you have anxiety, that usually means because you have uncertainty about the future. Like Clay was mentioning earlier, when we have the data through our CRM of year over year sales curves and the trends, we know that July is going to be a slower season. If you go back a few of our episodes ago when we were in June and killing it, doing like $60,000 plus a month, we were saying, we know the next month, the next few episodes, we're going to be talking about our summer slump. This is just part of the seasonality of this business. And that's why what we're doing now is, instead of stressing out about it and saying, oh, I'm going to go bankrupt, we understand that August picks up a little bit. September is pretty strong. October is pretty strong. And then November is almost like a push before Thanksgiving, and then it dies off again. So what we're doing is just preparing mentally for that. And like, hey, if you want to take a break, if you want to go on vacation, if you want to slow some things down and do some like assessment on your business, this is a great time to do that as well. Just know, like we talk about a summer slump, when we're used to running 2 trucks like 6 days a week, and now we're dialing it into like maybe one full truck and then another 1.5 truck a week, and maybe some spots here and there. So like, yeah, we're still profitable, we're still making money, we're doing what we can to be growing our business and moving the ball forward, but there's just going to be a downward curve in July, and that's really typical. And if you guys are new and stressing out and freaking out because it's not as easy as it was in the spring, just know, give it a couple months, give it a month, and you'll start to see it curve back up.
Yeah, and I think that a little bit of it could be everybody getting into the pressure washing business, trying to do the pressure washing stuff and eating into the market because it is very saturated in our market. Everybody in the upstate is a pressure washer. Everybody is a professional pressure washer. Everybody, which is fine because at the end of the day, it's sink or swim, right? So you just have to get out of that technician mindset, get into the CEO mindset, as Matt says. Stop overcomplicating things. Stop worrying about what chemical you need for different stains and different surfaces, and just keep it simple. I mean, we literally just use SH 98% of the time, unless there's something special I'm doing for a customer to get a job.
100%. And our numbers are lagging a little bit just due to this year, but I mean, like Clay says, we spray water and SH, and I have 2 trucks, and our like year to date is around $240,000. So yeah, we have BHAGs of like $500,000 a year, but we're almost like a little less than at that halfway point. Granted, the fall season doesn't necessarily correlate the same intensity as the spring. So like it, I can't say, oh, I'm just going to duplicate where I'm at and be at 500,000. But like we simplify this, and we don't use a lot of acids. We don't do restoration cleaning. We don't do all this other stuff. We're just spraying bleach and water, and we're able to do $240,000 so far with pretty much one full time technician and then two college kids to help me in the summer, and then I'll be on the truck a little bit here and there. So it's a very simple game. You just gotta show up and not overcomplicate things, not ask the questions of like, oh, what kind of sprayer do I use? What is my chemical concentration mix? Like, should I worry about this? Should I worry about that? Usually you're just getting distracted and not focusing on what's really important. And the whole kind of strategy and mantra of the Wash Bros is the sales, the marketing, the branding, and then it's the pushing the business forward and thinking like a CEO. So yeah, you can have a down year and still make $450,000. We're here to encourage people and show people what they can do. And proof is in the pudding between Clay and I, where essentially like we're really good at learning off of each other, and that's why like the Wash Bros is great, because this is like an open dialogue of what we have our weekly and daily conversations with each other. Like he showed me about that best in the upstate, and I was like, you know what, I don't know, I'm determined to get this. Not saying anybody's better than anybody, but it says like I was focusing on that when he was growing his business, but he already got the award, so it's like nobody's better. We both have that now, but like he showed me something, I went at it and I got it. And that's kind of the mindset that we both have, where we both like raise each other, and we're both winning that way. And that's the mindset we hope that you guys have, as opposed to like trying to get stuck in this internet drama or get doom and gloom and say, oh, like to Clay's point, there's tons of people in this space. Everybody thinks they can start pressure washing business and be highly successful, but it takes a lot of grind. It takes a lot of grit. You got to work smart and hard. Don't just get stuck in working hard, because a lot of times if you say you're working hard, you need to start working smarter. And then as Clay's evident of that, he's brought on another truck and he doubled his production in like the last week or so. He was like, oh, I'm just on the beach somewhere. My guy's making me money. And then he's able to reward his guy and bless his guy with tips. So like I think a cool flex that Clay and I talk about is like the ability to pay our guys a lot of money and like bless them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anywhere you can go. I mean, we spray water. It's very simple. Obviously, you want to make sure you have a good employee. You want to make sure they take care of your customers. You want to make sure they take care of your equipment. You want to teach them the right ways to go about things, especially if you're in that if you're in that position right now and you're trying to scale, you're trying to get to another truck, you're trying to find somebody. I really took my time on that. I wanted to find somebody that's going to take care of my people, going to take care of my quality of work, and then that way I could take care of them and on the other side of things. So um, the guy that I have working for me now, he makes a great living. I don't know that. I mean, I guess you can if you look up, you can find a better job somewhere else, but we pay him very well. He has his own truck. He drives his truck home. I don't have to see him. I don't have to talk to him. He doesn't have to see me. He doesn't have to deal with me unless something's up, there's an issue. But he's basically his own guy. It's like his own little truck, his own little route. He does all his work and he goes home. So pretty cool, creating a great atmosphere for the company, and we're just going to continue to keep growing.
And if you guys are familiar with like kind of pay structures and mindsets, Clay and I both kind of do the same thing. It's almost like a pay for performance setup, as opposed to just saying, "Hey, we're going to pay you X amount an hour." So we both have guys that are highly motivated to like have autonomy, go out, do a good job, customer service focused, and that's kind of a blessing because I know Clay's was looking for a guy for a while, and this guy seemed to like really step in and do a great job for him. It's fun when you start to see your Google reviews recommend like that tech again. Like I had one the other day where he's like, "Hey, great job, great service. Can I request having Ryan, who's my tech, do the job next time?" And I think that's when you know you're building a business because everybody gets into this with the hopes and dreams of building a business and not just being the hey, I have a job and I work 12 hours a day and I'm exhausted at the end of the day and it's expensive and it's tiring and is it all worth it? And when you get moments like that where you're like, hey, you can take a vacation and you come back and your guy's getting tips and getting referrals and Google reviews and he's handling problem solving without me. That's kind of winning. And that's these are the small things that as you grow and progress and you kind of follow that framework of the Wash Bros, like our Wash Bros framework, you can experience yourself. And it's really cool. It's like in the beginning, you make your first $100 and then you're like first $1,000 day and then you start growing your business and you're like I can go and do this full time and then you're hiring your first employee and then you start to see like this guy can like show up and do his stuff all by himself. He's getting me Google reviews, he's getting tips, he's able to like live in this economy that I created, and that's where it's really fun.
Yeah, there's nothing better than sitting on the beach and just knowing that everything at home is good, especially once you found that really good guy that can take care of your stuff. And like I was saying, you just want to find somebody to take care of everybody while you're gone. And I think that's been the best thing that's happened, especially with two trucks, having two trucks, being able to, when it slows down a little bit, take off and take a breather.
Absolutely. That's leveling it up, and then like you can have different level conversations like Clay and I always talk about. It's like, hey, what's the next move? Like when this gets easy, you're so used to being in the grind because if you remember like episodes ago when before Clay scaled, he's like, man, like I'm working hard, I'm working hard, and then he put his guy in place, and then he's like, well, what do I do with my time now? I'm hungry, I'm hungry. It's like that same hunger you guys have, that same grind and hustle and like builder energy. You free up some time and you build your business and you have guys help you that do a great job that employees love, and then you're building the systems out where you can free yourself up to do whatever you want, whether you want to spend time with your family, take a breather, focus on a hobby of yours, or you can use that energy to like war game and plan out your next move in business. And that's what's exciting because we see this all the time. Guys, they get into this business, they're super hungry, they're like so ambitious, and then that spirit dies a little bit every year, or it dies a little because they get burnt out or they get injured. And I mean, I had health issues, and it's easy to happen. And then if you're not prepared and you're not doing the things correctly to build that system and infrastructure around you, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're setting yourself up for failure. We're here just to show you there's so much more out there that you even think you can. Because Clay sent me a picture yesterday. It was like 3 years ago on his timeline where he bought my like 8 gallon a minute machine, and then it's crazy to think, man, 3 years, like we have done a lot. Like we've pressure washed a lot of stuff. We've been recognized a lot with pressure washing. We started this podcast pretty much, and that's been successful. And I mean, now we're at the stage where we're able to help other people provide for themselves, which is super cool.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how much you can actually get done in 3 years. I mean, all the downloads we've had, all the people we've helped, all the phone calls we've had, all the questions we've had, all the people we've met in this industry across the world. It's unbelievable. I'm very happy, very thankful for everybody that's had a part of my journey, and we're only going to go further, right? So, the coolest thing, a year ago, I couldn't even. Um, I mean, if something were to happen, like a medical issue, like what you had last year, I would have been screwed. Like we would have been out of work. We'd have lost a lot of business. But now that we've positioned ourselves in the right way, the business can pretty much run itself. So, pretty cool to have something on autopilot. And there's levels to this game, and we're just going to keep on leveling up.
I find too, like as you level up and you get out of that grind, like you're doing everything yourself, like you have a better, more optimistic outlook on things. And it's easy to look around and be kind of grumpy or think, oh, these newbies are taking my business, or like all these gurus are telling people they're gonna like how to do it. It's so easy. Yeah, like when you're in the thick of it is difficult, but like when you have your systems in check and you're really differentiating yourselves from these people, like we are not striving to compete with these people. And that's why, like, no disrespect to anything, but Clay and I were like, we don't have competition besides ourselves essentially. And then we do what we can to separate ourselves from each other in the eyes of a customer. But like if you want to dominate your local market, you have to be that 1%. And when there's hundreds of people doing this, it's hard. You don't want to compete with everybody. You want to compete at the top with either yourselves or with somebody like Clay and I, where we compete with each other for the most part. And you keep elevating yourself up, and then what used to be a big issue, what used to break your day, oh, I'm so like, you see this online too, people get all upset about like, oh, this surface cleaner blew up on me, or oh, I blew a hose, or oh, like I burned a plant, or like this customer is giving me crap. Like as you grow and level up, those aren't really issues. It's just a little bit of noise, and then you realize, okay, it's a problem. I'm going to have plenty of problems like this a day. And then that muscle that you had when you started your business grows and grows and grows, and then you just become a problem solver all day long, and then you enjoy doing it, and then you build up a business, and you're there to pretty much cheerlead and then put out fires and support your team. And that's kind of the level that Clay and I are at, where hey, I can be running around town supporting people, helping people. Worst case scenario, I could even hire somebody to replace myself in that role. I'm just not at that point yet. So you can start to see like the fruit, like what you're bearing. Like you plant the seeds in the beginning, and then you can start to see, wow, I don't have to work as hard to do this job, and I'm able to be successful, and I'm able to grow my business in a faster way than if I'm that one guy doing everything. Like we don't realize we're a choke point until we are,
Yeah.
until we're out of that phase. And I know Clay motivated me to run more money into ads, and then he's always been that fire behind me to push me forward.
Yeah, I've always leaned into the harder stuff. It's like going to the gym. The harder it gets, the harder you work, the better off you are after you get in shape, get fit. It's kind of the same thing. I've always related myself to sports. The more you practice, the better off you're going to be. You sit up there, you get up every day, and you go to the gym. Obviously, you're going to be in shape one day, right? So if you get up, do the same thing every day, keep pushing forward, trying to level up. Obviously, you're going to keep leveling up, and that's kind of how we've been doing it consistently.
No doubt. But yeah, we're at that 28-minute mark here. So this is kind of the stopping point we like to do, especially in the summertime where we all have stuff to do, and everybody can get back to their family. So is there anything you'd like to say, Clay, as a closing statement?
Yeah, everybody that's listening, just keep grinding, keep pushing forward. If you have any questions, feel free to message our page. We're still working on stuff like we have been, but I promise you, we'll get it all together. That way, you guys can start calling us or whatnot. Make sure you follow me, Clay Smith, on my personal page on Facebook. I am the Pressure Wash Guru on TikTok. Go give me a follow. Go check out all my cool content. I promoted some items on there. You can buy some nozzles from me or whatever. You can just go check out my content. Go follow me, give me a like, give me a comment, whatever. And then follow Matt on all his pages, Matthew Jackson on his personal page, Matt the Driveway Guy business page, my business page, C3 Wash Pros. Be sure to check us all out. We're legit. We got all the data to prove all the success that we've had. We're not just bullshitting anybody, and we want to see you do well too.
Absolutely. I think that's a great end to this episode. Like Clay says, check us out, give us a like and follow, and ton of value. If you guys like this episode, you just caught this episode, make sure to go subscribe to our channel and subscribe to our podcast on all the platforms and start from scratch. Like it's cool to see we'll get people listen to these newer episodes, and then we'll see them start at the bottom, and then our other episodes start growing. So there's tons of value here, literally like our open diary to ourselves when Clay was owner operating it, when I was just starting growing this business out, and then to where we're at now. So there's tons of value at all levels. So if you guys like this episode, check out episodes in the beginning, and you'll pretty much gain a lot of knowledge to be able to be at the same position we're at, as well as be entertained and have hopefully get a lot of positivity and motivation. Because I know, especially in the summer slumps, it can be hard, and it's nice to have some positivity and motivation. So that's everything on my end. I'll drop the outro, and we'll see you next week.